A great day of Big Ten basketball continues here in LA for Big Ten basketball, sponsored by Venmo. The 12th ranked team of the nation, the Nebraska Cornhuskers, arrive at the Galen Center to take on the USC Trojans. And this building is buzzing in large part because it's been invaded by Nebraska Cornhusker fans. We welcome you courtside along with Don McClain. I'm Guy Haberman. And in part, Don, because this game has critical postseason implications for both teams.
Well, Nebraska's had a great year. They're still playing for two things. One, to improve their NCAA Tournament seeding, sitting on the 4 line right now. But I think most importantly for right now, trying to finish in the top 4 in the Big Ten regular season standings to get that triple bye and not have to play till Friday in the Big Ten Tournament. On the other side, USC is playing for their NCAA Tournament lives. They've lost 4 in a row. They need a win desperately. This win here, they have 2 more opportunities after this, would go a long way in them getting back in the field for the NCAA Tournament.
Starting lineup sponsored by Venmo, and notable to not see the fantastic freshman Elijah Arenas in the starting lineup for the Trojans. He has started all 10 games he's played in, and so Terrence Williams, who does have starting experience, will start in place of Arenas, who is available for the Trojans coming off the bench today.
I'm excited to see this Nebraska team in person. I've been watching them all year. And the word that keeps coming into my brain when I watch Nebraska is they are connected. They're a veteran group, but connected. Role definition, role acceptance for this Nebraska team has been a big reason why they've had such a terrific year.
Larry Scirotto and Jason Phillips and Kevin Brill are officials. Scirotto going to toss it up again to Ezra Asar and Rink Mast. And USC wins the tip. Chad Baker-Mazara.
Well, as always, what are you doing with Baker-Mazara? We know he's a volume guy. If you let him get started, it's hard to turn him off. Sam Hoiberg starts with the challenge of trying to slow him down.
Asar with good position, denied by Berke Buchtenjel, and now here come the Cornhuskers.
Well, probably line item 1 on the scouting report for any team playing USC is you got to keep them off the foul line. They're one of the best in the country at drawing fouls. Good job on that first possession by Nebraska by not fouling Asar, who's one of the best in the country individually at getting to the foul line.
Here's Buchtenjel into the paint. Tough shot over Kofi. Well defended, and it goes out of bounds to USC. The Trojans have lost 4 straight, coming off a crosstown loss to UCLA by 19.
When USC is engaged defensively, they're tough to deal with. They're big, they're athletic, but haven't been as consistent as they've needed to be on that side of the ball, especially here of late.
Facing today what is the 5th ranked defense in the country in Nebraska in defensive efficiency. They've been good all year long in that category. Kofi is going to try a 3. And an offensive rebound for Cam Woods.
Well, that's one thing that's come to the forefront for USC in this 4-game losing streak is their lack of perimeter shooting. It's really teams are starting to pack it in as Woods gets the and one follow. But teams are daring USC to shoot now. We know Rodney Rice hasn't been in there all year because of injury. He was going to be a big part of the perimeter attack for USC. But it's just this late in the season, there's enough film, there's enough in the scouting report that you understand who teams are. And I think USC's lack of perimeter shooting or lack of consistent perimeter shooting has really hurt them.
Cam Woods at the line. We saw 2 offensive rebounds on that possession, Don. That's a big key for Fred Hoiberg's team today. And Eric Musselman's team got a free throw out of it. And as you said, they're one of the best, if not the best in the league at drawing free throw attempts.
Well, you and I asked Fred Hoiberg, if you guys don't win a game, what's typically the reason? And he said it's rebounding. If we don't rebound, it's hard to win games for us, but if we beat the other team on the glass, we're probably going to win the game. So big key area to watch here this afternoon.
Kofi cut off. Baker-Mazara happy to find some space to fire. And now here comes Hoiberg.
USC doesn't post up a lot, but remember Nebraska doubles the post from behind every time. Doesn't matter who the personnel is on the other team. They are doubling from that baseline side.
Rink Mast inside to score it.
Well, he gives them the balance offensively. Nebraska, a very good 3-point shooting team. We'll talk about Samford in a minute. But if you have that interior presence that Mast gives you, and he can score or accept double teams, it opens up that perimeter.
Here's Hoiberg with the steal. Kofi trailing, and Hoiberg tried to jump stop and slips and falls, and somehow got it back. Sanford in tight quarters hits the three.
Telling me, man, he's got the ultimate green light first. Second, he gets his feet down really fast. If you're not attached, he is letting it fly, and it's probably going in. Over 40% from three this year.
And a chance to have the most prolific three-point shooting season in Big Ten Conference history. He's 9 away from tying Sean Respert's single-season record. Baker Mazzara's second shot of the game is a three.
You just can't let it. I said it earlier. You cannot let him get started. He's an emotional player, and when he gets off to a good start, he usually keeps it going.
Mast again getting in, but can't finish it. And here comes Woods.
A good action and got a good look, just didn't get it to go down.
And a turnover for the Trojans.
A big key for USC is turning it over. Nebraska very good at turning other teams over and then turning defense into offense.
Sanford making a second LA trip, was a member of the Hawkeyes last year. They came here to USC to not have a good trip. The foul against Rink Mast, and that's his first. And take a look back. This was Hoiberg somehow staying up.
Not a travel, stayed on his feet. You know, the one thing about Sanford, like, he had a good year at Iowa last year. Yeah. Obviously, coaching change at Iowa. We don't know if he was going to leave or not, but I like when a guy transfers and steps into a bigger role, accepts that role, and has become the leading scorer on this Nebraska team.
Elijah Arenas off the bench for USC. Averages 14 a game. Has been exclusively a starter since he debuted for the team in mid-January. Eric Musselman shaking up his lineup, and another bucket for Baker Mazzara.
Those aren't good shots for anyone other than Baker Mazzara. We've talked about him all year. He takes tough shots, but he makes tough shots.
Marcus Lawrence inside of Butengel, who powers his way in for two.
They hunt mismatches. They got one there. Butengel. Baker Mazzara not big enough to deal with him that deep. Knocks it in.
Arenas. Williams was open, and Kofi couldn't get it to him. Another takeaway for this Nebraska defense.
How good is Nebraska? Their hands in passing lanes, their hands on the ball. It's like their third strip already.
Yeah, it's 3 turnovers. All have been live ball for USC. Lawrence will try a rhythm three. That was online, but too strong. And Baker Mazzara helps create the rebound with the battle underneath on Hoiberg.
We know USC wants the pace of the game fast. The complexion is in their favor right now. They got a 1-point lead. Have a bigger lead if they hadn't turned it over 3 times already, USC.
Kofi threw his hands. 4th live ball turnover. Up ahead to Lawrence. And he gets blocked by Baker Mazzara. Sanford on the scramble. Connects with the three. What a turn of events.
Well, Baker Mazzara with the effort on the chase down block from behind, but unfortunately gets kicked out to one of the best 3-point shooters in the country. Sanford knocks it down.
It's 2 for Sanford in this game. Arenas pushing his way in.
Guy's looking for immediate timeout. We're 5:45 in. No stoppage yet. See if Mast goes to work on Baker Mazzara. No double coming.
Pushes his way towards the hoop. Ball is loose, and Mast gets it back. Hoiberg in the corner. Hits the three.
I think that touched the side of the backboard, if I'm not mistaken, but there's no pictures in the box score, guy. 3 is a 3. He knocks it in.
Now here's Woods forcing his way in.
Coach is letting this go. Now we're 6.5 in.
This is unbelievable.
We might get the rare double back-to-back timeouts if we get under 12.
Sanford had that deflected and blocked, and the ball goes out of bounds. And we've got our first timeout of the game.
Good action here early in the Galen Center. Baker Mazzara with the chase down, but gets kicked back out to Sanford. He knocks it in. And then Hoiberg with a little bit of luck on this. 3 anyway.
Coming up, women's gymnastics. The Huskers compete in a quad meet against Michigan, Washington, and Penn State. That is next on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. We just had our first stoppage of the game, nearly 7 minutes in. So we finally get to the keys of the game. Brought to you by TurboTax.
Well, we've mentioned these already, but worth going back to. Keep USC off the foul line. It's imperative if you're going to beat this USC team. You can't let them live at the free throw line. And then USC's already turning it over. You just can't in most games, but especially against this Nebraska team. So let's see if USC can execute better. And as you said, Guy, live ball turnovers, which are worse. It's led to some runouts for Nebraska.
All 4 of the turnovers for SC in that category. Buchtenschel wins the battle. Arenas is down as Nebraska scores, and the officials are going to have to stop play for him. Ooh. He tried to get up and couldn't. And he is in quite a bit of pain. Oh, and he's going to chalk it off.
Oh yeah, let's go. Trojans ball.
He's down here.
Battling with Buchtenschel. Is that maybe that right ankle? It was definitely that right leg he was dealing with. Let's see how he handles it.
Let's see what his gait looks like going up and down.
There he is with it now. Shot clock is at 4 for Cam Woods. Caught in the air and another turnover for USC.
Got too deep, especially at his size. You're not going to throw it over the top of this Nebraska front line.
Braden Frager had to wait a long time to get into this game. Buchtenschel follows. Jacobson knocked it out of bounds.
Nebraska runs such good stuff. There's a lot of influence in what Nebraska does from Fred Hoiberg. NBA playing days and coaching days, but they really run good stuff.
Here comes Sam Hoiberg back in for Nebraska.
And I don't think he gets talked about enough. Look, you know, Sanford's having a great year. Frager's going to probably be 6th man of the year in the conference, but Sam Hoiberg is kind of the heart and soul of this team. And you just wonder, Guy, like, because he's the coach's kid, does he not get enough credit because people are afraid of piling on too much praise because he's the coach's kid? But you watch Nebraska play, and Hoiberg affects the game more than anybody on this Nebraska team on both sides of the ball.
Baker Mazzara a 3. Hoiberg had a steal earlier in this game that put him atop the Big Ten steals list for the season so far this year. Buchtenschel powers inside, and Brownell denies him.
Good recovery by Brownell. Was out of position a little bit.
There's Hoiberg, deflects that pass out of bounds.
Make some noise for the hustle on defense. Make some noise for the hustle. Let's go. Let's go.
See, he's almost 5 assists for every.
That's incredible.
That is remarkable. That leads all of college basketball.
If you're 3-1, you're really doing something. 5-1's absurd. That's what I'm saying. Just he doesn't dominate really in any categories except for that and the steals,
right?
But just affects the game so much. And I get the feeling that emotionally he affects the locker room more than anybody as well.
Well, there's something to be said too. It's an interesting combination as Baker Mazzara throws it off a mat. And we've got a timeout on the floor. A player who doesn't turn it over, but creates more turnovers than anybody else in the league. And right now, his Huskers are up 5. Big Ten Basketball is brought to you by Venmo. Score more with Venmo. And by Marco's Pizza. Order your Marco's Pizza now at marcos.com. Big Ten Network's live coverage of the 2026 All-State Big Ten Women's Basketball Tournament from Indianapolis begins on Thursday. UCLA trying to finish off an undefeated women's season. We'll try to take down USC. That game will be here tomorrow.
You're on that game tomorrow.
Be back here tomorrow. It'll be a lot of fun. 8 seconds on the shot clock here for USC out of the timeout.
Brownell's got to let that one fly.
Assar deep position, and he's fouled, and the basket counts.
He's just so strong down there, and I know Hoiberg's got really good hands to poke balls away and get passing lanes. But if Assar gets that deep, you might as well just let him score, because he's going to go right through your hand and probably get a foul, which he did. That's why he's been to the foul line so much. You can't keep him out of the paint. And then when he's in there, he goes through contact as good as anybody in this league.
You wonder, I mean, that is the second foul for Hoiberg in this first half. And Assar makes the free throw.
You know what I'm saying? Like that hand that Hoiberg put in there isn't going to do anything but potentially get a foul. Because you're not going to take it from Assar down there. You're just not.
Well, and Nebraska does not, you know, their 2 foul participation number is low. You wonder, are we going to see Hoiberg again in this half with 2 fouls?
I think time and score will dictate that. I think if Nebraska can keep the lead, it gives Fred Hoiberg more time to sit him.
I mean, it's a foul called on Arenas, but you see the possession was a little disheveled before that bailout foul.
But you see the attention Sanford gets now in these games. Like nobody's letting him run. He got a couple early on busted plays, but in the half-court execution, and this is going to be for the rest of the season, obviously, how many looks can Sanford get in their half-court offense?
Here's Braden Frager, a weapon off the bench for Nebraska, and he throws an interception, and Arenas is fouled by Sanford. His first.
Well, it becomes on the other players for Nebraska to loosen up Sanford's coverage. Because if they're scoring, guys have to start helping. They start helping off Sanford a little bit. And look at that. Only needs 8 more. That's a single season record, and that's just in conference games.
Right. Of course, this is game 18 for Nebraska. Where that's how many games Resford played back in that 94-95 season. It gets 2 more games after this in the 20-game conference year now.
This is another way to get Sanford some shots, put him in actions with the ball in his hands.
All the way to the rim. Nice finish.
And the more he does that, the more it's going to loosen up him on the perimeter as well.
8 points for Sanford, nearly to the midway point of this first half.
See how they come that double on the baseline side.
This time Brownell doesn't hesitate, and he hits the 3.
A smart play by Assar. A lot of times he tries to attack the double and try to split it and get through it. That time gave it up. Brownell opposite knocks it down.
Frager gets fouled by Baker Mazzara.
Baker Mazzara's fouling has cost them a couple games this year, and it's never one thing, but he's so important to this USC team. We saw it a couple weeks ago in the Oregon game. Picked up his 5th foul and allowed Oregon to get back in it and eventually steal it here at the Galen Center.
First for him today, 2nd team foul.
You want defenders to be aggressive.
Well, Alessi's been really aggressive on defense, and it leads to a Cam Woods lay-in.
But aggressive without fouling. Nice play by Woods coming around the backside to poke that away, take it end to end.
Maz, now here's Frager. And he connects on the 3.
I'm telling you, as much attention as Sanford gets, he's the guy. Coming off a 21 against Maryland earlier in the week, Frager, he can take some of the pressure off of him.
Brownell feeling it now.
Another guy you don't want to let get started for this USC team. He's made 2 now. Now you really got to pay attention to him.
That's knocked out of bounds with 20 on the shot clock. Jamarcus Lawrence will come back in for Nebraska. For Frager, you mentioned earlier, Don, the leader for 6th man of the year in this league. He has 6 20-point games this season. Larry Scirotto, the official, with a word for Frager and Baker Mazzara. They've been going, they are still talking. Baker Mazzara is talking. Frager hit a 3 a moment ago, had a big smile for these 2.
Frager was just asking him where he should go to dinner tonight after the game. Staying in LA, they got UCLA Tuesday.
They are carrying on a conversation. Sanford hit the deck and now back up. Lawrence inside, well contested, and it comes away to Frager, and he commits an offensive foul.
Ball got kicked out off the offensive board to Frager. How about that? That arm really wasn't extended. It's a tough call. You could see it either way, actually.
Baker Mazzara was saying to his own bench, essentially, I baited him on that one. Baker Mazzara talks to everybody, the opponent, his bench. Brownell lets fly. Ooh. In and out. He just made back-to-back threes.
I like that, though. Brownell could be a difference maker. We already talked about USC struggling from the perimeter. A welcome sight for him to start making some threes.
Frager, no. Garcia, no. Mast, no.
Wow. 3 looks at it.
Baker Mazzara feeling his way. Here's Asar. Baker Mazzara, he's not going to hesitate. And he hits a 3.
I like Asar being a little more patient today. Got it on the short roll right at the foul line. Usually he's going straight to the front of the rim. That time kicked it back out to Baker Mazzara for the 3.
Each team has hit 4 threes at a high percentage in this first half. Sanford's got a couple of them, but Arenas is right in his jersey.
Can you tell these teams are both playing for something?
You really can. And what touch from Sanford. Arenas was all over him. That's his 4th field goal of the day.
I expected a high-intensity game, and we're getting it.
No, you're right. I mean, you can feel it on both ends. Woods. Brownell. Cut off. Sanford knocks that out of bounds, but it goes off of SC. So it's Nebraska ball.
Back and forth we go here at the Galen Center. Asar on the kick out. Baker Mazzara, we know what he's going to do with that. And then Sanford's going to have to manufacture different ways to score. Got a good one here in LA.
Better trap Tominaga. He'll put this up. He lets the corner pocket. 5 to shoot. Step back 3. Oh! Are you serious?
Oh, it's so good. Keisei Tominaga. 2 years ago, you wonder what magic waits ahead for us in Chicago.
Can't wait.
Just a week and a half.
It's been such a good year in the Big Ten. Still so much on the line. We talked about what's at stake for these 2 teams and seeding, NCAA Tournament seeding.
Mike DeCourcy moved Nebraska from the last 3 spot to the first 4 spot, the 4 line in his NCAA Tournament projections after Michigan State beat Purdue the other night.
In talking to the Nebraska people, they feel like they could still get all the way up to a 2 seed. That's kind of the goal for them. Got some work to do that, and taking care of business out here on the West Coast today, and then UCLA Tuesday, and then finish at home with Iowa, but then you have the Big Ten tournament.
Cam Woods has played aggressive defense in this first half. He's all over Jamarcus Lawrence right now. Still no Sam Hoiberg with those 2 fouls. Frager, and it poked away. Baker Mazzara with the steal. And Mazzara draws the foul.
The ball pressure for USC has bothered Nebraska here the last 5-6 minutes, and another turnover for Nebraska. Live ball turnover going the other way.
Well, Hoiberg hasn't been on the floor the last 5-6. I mean, he went out at 11 minutes.
Good point.
Right? That's 5 minutes ago.
I think because of the score, it's only a 2-point game. I think Fred Hoiberg understands that this game's going to be won in the second half, obviously, but you don't want to put Sam Hoiberg at risk of having to start the second half with 3 fouls.
Right. Baker Mazzara, one of the best free throw shooters in the country, one of the best in the league, nearly 90%.
You heard the Go Big Red chant. There's a lot of Go Big Reds in here.
There are. One of the bigger concentrations of the alumni base for Nebraska. We see it a lot in Southern California. Everybody has big concentrations. It seems like every team that comes through has a lot of local fans, but Nebraska's got a ton. Lawrence steps out of bounds and turns it over.
I'm telling you, the ball pressure of USC has got Nebraska sped up. Typically, Nebraska, one of the best execution teams in the country in the half court, but they are being bothered by this athleticism, length, and intensity of the USC defense.
They only turned it over 5 times the other day against Maryland on Wednesday, but that's their 6th turnover, their 5th turnover today. They turned it over 6 against Maryland, so they're almost to that number. Baker Mazzara, tough 3, and Frager the board.
No shot's a tough shot for Baker Mazzara.
Good point. Lawrence lost it, and that is the 6th turnover of the game for Nebraska. So that matches the total from that Maryland game.
Now, this is interesting that Sam Hoiberg hasn't come back, but it can't be a coincidence that all of a sudden Nebraska's offense has come to a screeching halt with him on the bench.
Jerry Easter cut off inside. Brownell gets it to go down.
I'm telling you, when USC moves it, they're good offensively. Ball gets stuck a lot in the half court with them, but today they're moving it, getting open looks, and Brownell has been huge for USC in this first half.
He's a 5-point-a-night scorer. He's got 8 in this first half. Mass lost it, and the possession arrow stays with Nebraska.
It becomes contagious when the ball pressure is affecting the other team. It ramps up everybody's intensity on the defense. Easter getting into the act that time.
You know, we had the fun of watching Baker Mazzara and Nick Martinelli play what felt like a game of horse here a couple weeks ago, a month ago. How about the winner from Martinelli?
Yeah,
against Oregon. Here's Mass open for a 3, and maybe that'll settle things down on offense for Nebraska.
They needed that, and he's reliable from behind that 3-point line. Shoots 3 or 4 a game, 32%, but as a 5-man, it really helps your offense when that guy can step out and make 3s.
Easter almost lost it. Baker Mazzara wants Kofi to come over. Weaving his way into a turnover.
Good show by Mass.
Lawrence up ahead to Frager, and he misses the dunk. Thought he was fouled.
Took off too early.
SC does not have numbers. Terrence Williams is getting back. It's 4 on 5 for Baker Mazzara, and he scores anyway.
Did I say no shot is too tough for Baker Mazzara? It's unbelievable. Finds the rim no matter where his body is, no matter what's going on. He finds his target and finds a way to knock it in.
Lawrence, no. Do you think Baker Mazzara stops at red lights? Because he doesn't see one on the floor.
He's tired.
He's got 12 points.
This has been an intense, emotional first half. Saps your energy.
Brownell. And a tough rebound for Frager.
Really good rebound, Frager, in traffic.
Mass gets enough room, and Easter tracks it down. Baker Mazzara still back on the other end.
Good decision by Easter. Pull that one out. He knew Baker Mazzara was behind the play. Baker Mazzara needs a timeout.
Under 4 to go. There'll be a timeout at the next stoppage, the next dead ball. He and Frager have been going back and forth today. Baker Mazzara can't hit it. And Buchtengel the board.
Tough shot, especially when you're tired.
Frager creates, and the patient basket for Rink Mass.
Veteran play by Mass. Most guys get that interior pass and just try and put it up on the window as fast as they can. Waited for the flyby and got the deuce.
Is Baker Mazzara going to get this across the midline? Yes. He is dragging right now. Brownell. Baker Mazzara just flicks it up and draws the foul. He is putting it all on the floor today. Everybody's leaving it all on the floor today. It already feels like March. Great game here at the Galen Center so far. A lot of action, a lot happening in between whistles. This was one of the breakaways for Nebraska. Look at Braden Frager.
I thought he took off too early. It wasn't. He got hit in the leg, which knocked him off balance. That's why he was calling for the foul, like you said, Guy. And then this individual offense from Baker Mazzara. We've been watching this all year. Doesn't matter if he's falling down, sideways, finds a way to get it in.
I mean, his body, I might need a protractor, but I think he was at like a 70-degree angle falling back. And a lot of this for SC, they benefited from the long sit for Sam Hoiberg with his 2 fouls. 6 turnovers in the stretch since he went out of the game.
You can look at this 2 ways, Guy. The fact that they're still within 3 with him sitting that long, and now it doesn't look like he's coming back till the second half. Or the fact that USC hasn't been able to run away with this without Hoiberg on the floor.
Baker Mazzara, 2 free throws. The 6 turnovers since he went to the bench means they didn't have a turnover when he was in the game. So all 6 turnovers come without him on the floor. And it feels right? The way that USC's been able to affect.
I mean, Sam Hoiberg's played in a lot of games. He's a veteran player. Probably settled the team down a little bit more. And that's what I was saying. I wanted to get in right off the top. Just how valuable Sam Hoiberg is to this Nebraska team that I don't think gets talked about enough. And we're seeing it on display here this afternoon.
Baker Mazzara sits down with his really good first half. Utengel. Now Mass. Sanford's got 10 points to lead the Huskers. He's got it here. Shot clock is at 5. Lawrence fouled by Cam Woods.
Well, that's what I was just going to say, that Cam Woods has been so aggressive on the ball. Take advantage of that by putting your head down and try and draw fouls when a guy's that aggressive.
Coming up, the halftime show presented by State Farm. Mike Hall, Earl Watson, Mike DeCourcy in our Chicago studio.
Can't wait to hear what Hall and DeCourcy have to say at halftime. I'm just kidding, Earl. We love you, man.
It's brewing on brewing crime. Lawrence. Baker Mazzara getting a bite to eat, some hydration. He has exerted a lot of energy so far today.
All these guys have high intensity physical game here in the first half.
Woods. Easter cuts inside with a nice touch.
Good recognition by Easter. Saw that Woods got deep, was for sure going to pass it. Cuts right to the front of the rim.
You know, the other side of Nebraska's turned it over since Hoiberg went out. Well, and SC has kind of stopped turning it over since Hoiberg went out.
Well, I said it earlier, and it continues here, especially without Hoiberg. The ball pressure and the intensity of USC's defense has bothered Nebraska here the second part of this first half.
Under 2 minutes to go. Woods. Easter creates just enough space and another floater.
Should have taken the first one, though. The pull up at the elbow, decided to step through, made it difficult, but still got the 2.
The largest lead of the game for USC. Up by 7. Just kind of a directionless possession there for the Huskers.
Sanford got going early, but we haven't heard from him in a while. You'll see rotating guys on him. Terrence Williams has been on him the last few possessions.
Wood stumbles. Lawrence all over him. Easter's been in the paint the last 2 possessions. Gets in there again, steps out of bounds, and turns it over. 8th turnover for USC.
I'm going to tell you what, because we see him a lot, Guy. My man Kevin Brill is going to find you if you step on that end line. He does not miss an end line step on, I'm telling you.
That's a good scouting report.
Seriously. If Brill's officiating the game, you need to stay away from the baseline.
Under a minute to go in this first half. Easter on Sanford now. Sanford
nice.
Forcing the issue inside.
Double spin back, left hand finish. Telling you, he's going to have to it ain't going to be catch and shoot threes from here on out. He's going to have to find different ways to get his points.
He's got 12, and a couple of them he's forced his way into the lane on good defense. Asar barely takes any shots away from the rim, and he gives that one up. He's left alone, and he can't beat the scouting report. Nope. Shot clock is off.
Shot for Nebraska.
They have their use it or lose it timeout.
And it looks like he's going to let it go.
Sanford, tough shot. Mass couldn't follow it. Time for Easter. Clear pass from midcourt, and he misses wide right. And USC is going to take a 5-point lead into the locker room on the 12th ranked team in the nation.
Entertaining, intense first half here at the Galen Center.
Baker Mazara's led all scorers with 14. Sanford has 12 for Nebraska. A great first half so far. We'll send you the halftime coming up.
Chad Baker-Mazara scored more than 20 in back-to-back games, and he's well on his way to doing so here. He's got 14 at the break. USC is up by 5. Glad to have you with us in our Chicago studios for this State Farm halftime report. This is Earl Watson, Hall of Famer Mike DeCourcy, and regular Mike Hall here with you. Nebraska is 22-1 this season when they're facing an unranked opponent. Doesn't look like it so far in the first 20.
Well, one of the big keys to that was that with 11:40 left in the first half, Sam Hoiberg picked up his second personal foul, and that was the last we saw of Sam Hoiberg on the floor. We showed him on the bench occasionally, but to make the point that Nebraska does not play their guys if they pick up a second foul in the first half. They are 342nd in the country in what we call two-foul participation. Ken Pomeroy, the great Ken Pomeroy with that stat. They just don't do that. Their process is they want you to get to the second half with 2, don't pick up the third, and it certainly had a huge impact on the Huskers as they went forward into the second half. SC took great advantage.
And Mike is exactly right. Sam brings a motor around a lot of players with skill. That's why he stands out so much in their offense and their defense, and he makes things happen. But the rhythm of Nebraska has been broken. You cannot play one-on-one basketball. You have to over-execute, get to the next action, and make USC go from side to side defensively.
And maybe we'll see them do that in the second half because, as Mike was alluding to, they're a great second half team. They average almost 9 points per game more than their opponents do in the second halves this season. There's another Big Ten game that's happening as we speak. It's the battle of the Dubs. Wisconsin and Washington. First half, Nick Boyd with the tip pass. And Scooter, oh, that's a fancy lane. Boyd off to a hot start, not surprising. Braden Carrington takes his time. You're going to give me that space? You'll pay for it. Badgers are rolling, looking for their 20th win in the season. 33 seconds left. They're up by 15 at the break. We'll show you what happened earlier today in the Big Ten. We had a bunch of games to get to, and how about every single one coming down to the very end?
Halftime on the Big Ten Network is presented by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
3 early games, all of them were close. Minnesota hosting UCLA. Earl, how hot was Bobby Durkin from deep?
It was unbelievable. Came off screens, found open windows, and he let it fly, and he gained confidence throughout the game.
7 3-pointers for Durkin. Final minute, Donovan Dent with a 3-pointer. That would have tied it. Instead, it's Durkin with the board, and the Gophers hold on. The 14th win of the season. They got a 5-point victory. Oregon and Northwestern, this came down to the final seconds. Oregon down 2, Whalen misses a layup. Don't worry, he's going to get another opportunity. Look how open he is. Oh, man, drills it for the lead. But in the very final seconds, you're going to go to the top scorer in the Big Ten, Nick Martinelli, and say, make something happen. Make something happen. Gah! He took his time, didn't he? The ball sat on the rim, made a few phone calls, eventually dropped in. On his bobblehead day, Martinelli is the hero. Iowa at Penn State, final 2 seconds. Freddie DeLeon gets fouled. Mike, the value of hitting free throws at the end of a game shown through here.
Oh, absolutely. DeLeon went to the free throw line and nailed them both. No problem. So much pressure to get that done, but he did.
1.5 seconds left, and Penn State has the lead. The Hawkeyes can't even get a shot off, and that is not the type of loss that Iowa is looking forward to end the month of February. 2-point win for the Nittany Lions. Mr. Sanford now has 103 made three-pointers on the season. That continues to be an all-time program record. Tonight, catch women's gymnastics when Michigan, Nebraska, Washington, and Penn State compete at the Big Ten Quad Meet. Live coverage begins 6 Eastern, 5 Central, 3 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and on the Fox Sports app. USC looking for their first ranked win of the season. Can they hold on to this lead? Guy and Don coming right back with the second half next.
Just about ready for the second half here in LA with USC leading by 5. Our game leaders brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance. And the leading scorers for each team's leading scorers for the game, Chad Baker-Mazzara with 14, Price Sanford with 12. Each have hit a couple of threes and have had to work really hard. It was an exhausting first half for both of these teams, expending a lot of energy on the offensive and defensive end. We welcome you back courtside along with Don McClain. I'm Guy Haberman. We started the day by talking about all the postseason implications here, Don, and both teams are playing like they know it.
Are you saying that you're exhausted?
I'm not saying that I'm exhausted, but we're up next, the way these two are going.
Here's the thing, and we have seen this year. USC, when they're engaged defensively, they are tough to deal with. The question is, can they now sustain it for another 20 minutes? They got a 5-point lead. Nebraska, a very good offensive team. We spent a lot of time in that first half talking about Hoiberg picking up his second, didn't come back. Let's see the impact he has to start this second half for Nebraska.
He only played 7 minutes with those 2 fouls, and you see what Nebraska normally does on offense and what they've done so far from a shooting percentage standpoint today. We've already had 2 big upsets in the league today by a home team that was lower in the standings, Penn State over Iowa, in Minnesota over UCLA. This would be the headline if USC could pull it off, and it would be their best win of the year, and they are right on the bubble. Mike DeCourcy has them in the first 4 hours.
This would put them right back in the tournament, a win here, but they, again, can't turn it over. That was one of our keys to the game, and they start the first possession with a live ball turnover.
Hoiberg, deep position, and somehow gets that up on the backboard to score.
How is that the first possession, a live ball turnover, and then he impacts it on the offensive end as well?
He is fulfilling what you said, that he just affects everything on both ends in a way that doesn't get appreciated. Although right now it's being appreciated. He almost creates another turnover. He does create another turnover. And here is Sanford out ahead for the dunk.
What a start for Nebraska in good veteran teams, and this is a very good Nebraska team. They understand that they needed to change the narrative of this game, and they have right out of the locker room.
A cutting Kofi for the dunk.
Good ball movement.
His first basket today.
Good cut by Kofi right down the middle. Got to get it moving against this Nebraska team. You're not going to ISO straight line these guys. You got to get it moving side to side, get them moving, and then cut like Kofi did that time.
Sanford is fouled by Asar. It's his first foul. And here's Nebraska's offense jump starting out of the locker room.
Well, the toughness of Hoiberg really sticks out. And late in that second half, or the last 11 minutes of that first half, you feel like it was missing a little bit, and right out of the gate, here comes Nebraska.
Hoiberg leads the league in steals, leads the country in assist-to-turnover ratio. Cam Woods had a good first half for USC guarding Hoiberg there. Now here's Lawrence downhill, kind of flailing. Hoiberg tracked it down. Shot clock is at 6. Mass stretching it out. And Hoiberg gets another possession for Nebraska.
Won't show up in the box score. That's exactly what I'm saying about him affecting the game in so many ways.
Jason Phillips, officials looking down the SC bench, waiting to see do they want to challenge this. I think that might have been off of Hoiberg's fingertips.
I think in a game like this, you do not want to risk losing that challenge.
Or the timeout, and it costs USC.
A lot of Samford's points in the first half were off the bounce, getting into the lane, scoring. Started off with a couple catch-and-shoot threes, and if you relax it all on him, it's a problem. 4-point play opportunity.
And now the game is tied. SC only committed, 3 fouls in the first half. Now they've committed 2. And, you know, speaking, you've been talking about things that don't show up in the box score today. How hard Samford has worked for his baskets. And he has earned 17 points so far. Nebraska on a 10-2 run.
Think how much energy USC's exerted trying to hold Samford down, and guess what? He's got 18.
Williams, a 3, airballed it, and Buchtenjel the board.
A noticeable different level for Nebraska here in the second half.
That's it. Relatively speaking, that would go as an open shot for Samford today. That's wide open for Hoiberg, and that is out of bounds off Nebraska.
You know, it's interesting watching Nebraska. We obviously watch them a lot on TV, but when they come out here, you see them in person. And one other thing that sticks out is Fred Hoiberg's demeanor. Like, they were down a lot of that first half, didn't change. It still hasn't changed. They got the lead back.
Illegal screen on Assar, his second foul. Well, you know, if you're going to play UCLA off a loss on the second leg of this trip, you want to get a win on the first end, as Illinois found out the last time they were here.
That's right.
Illinois blew out SC and then got SC coming off that UCLA off that Michigan State loss. Well, now they're going to, Nebraska is not thinking about that now, but they're going to get UCLA off a road loss in Minnesota. Mast gets it to Hoiberg. Shot clock is low. Hoiberg squeezes in again. He's got 2 baskets at the rim in the second half.
Just going to out-tough you. That's what he's going to do.
Baker Mazzara looking for his first basket of the half, and that's nowhere close.
Well, we talked about USC speeding up Nebraska in that first half. Nebraska's defense now speeding up USC on the offensive end.
Baker Mazzara with a big chase down block, and he is down on the ground. He came up grimacing on the offensive end and took a hard fall here on the block. Man, he hit the ground hard. And he will pop up. Take a look at him. Ooh. Right on that left side, that left elbow, that wrist. He's untaping the wrist right now as he walks to the bench.
As much as it hurts right now, that's really going to hurt tomorrow morning. I remember those and I don't miss them at all. When you wake up and you're like, oh yeah, that's right, I fell yesterday.
Buchtenjel with the dunk. And USC will take a timeout. Nebraska looks like a whole different team in this second half, from down 5 to up 5 in 3 minutes for the Cornhuskers. Right now, get 3 months of Big Ten Plus for just $5.99 a month with promo code SAVE26. You get access to hundreds of live Big Ten sporting events, full and condensed replays and highlights. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to BigTenPlus.com. And make sure you enter SAVE26 when selecting a monthly pass at checkout to take advantage of this offer. There's Baker Mazzara, who took that hard fall a minute ago going to the line. He took the tape off his left wrist.
Not saying USC can't win this game without him, but it'll be interesting to see if he comes back.
You see, Nebraska's been a second-half team, and USC has not.
With this group, and collective is the word we used to start the show today, I'm sure it was some adjustments by the coaching staff, but when you have a group like this, they're all looking at each other going, guys, we got to up our level in the second half, and they certainly have the first 3+ minutes.
Brownell had a good first half. Terrence Williams has that volleyball out of bounds by Buchtengel. 7 on the shot clock. This is interesting. Without Baker Mazzara, we're also not seeing Arenas.
Yeah.
Turned his ankle in that first half.
Well, this is the stuff we were saying earlier about how you can see stuff in person that you can't see on TV. Like the level of Nebraska's defense, noticeable from the first half to this half.
Cam Woods walled off and fouled by Mast with half a second on the shot clock. Second on Rink Mast. And the first team foul for Nebraska in the second half.
Well, you ask, you get, guy. Here comes Arenas.
Arenas came off the bench for the first time today. And he is at the scorer's table waiting to enter. And Baker Mazzara is walking back out of the tunnel towards the bench.
Good sign for USC.
Well, it's interesting. He came off looking at his wrist, but to start the second half, he actually had like a heating pad on his right knee. And I can't tell if he's got it back on there on his knee. He had a sleeve on his right knee.
If he sits in that seat,
yeah,
does he get service? Like, did he get some popcorn or something over
he
there?
can. I think it's a QR code. So no heating pad, but he does have that sleeve, which he was playing with before. And Arenas guarding Sanford, trying to chase him through traffic. And he does, and he's still chasing, and now Kofi takes over, and Sanford loses it out of bounds.
You made the observation, guy, and it's so spot on about how hard Sanford works to get the ball and get shots. I wonder what his tracking numbers are, like how much he actually runs during the course of a game. That'd be interesting to look at.
Easter inside. And as that goes to, SC's thinking about, but they're not going to challenge. It'll be Nebraska ball. USC did challenge. They got the challenge in before the timeout clock started. We went to break. The call here is called Nebraska ball. Will this get overturned to USC?
It looks to me, it's tough, but it looks to me that Mast touched it last with his left hand.
Right there.
But did Cam Woods touch it at all with his forearm? That's the question.
Here's another look at it. Again, this was called Nebraska ball out on USC, and USC's challenging. I think you're right, Don. The question is, does it graze the forearm of Woods? If not,
well, they've been looking at this for 2+ minutes and haven't made a decision. And my contention has always been, if it's taking 2.5 minutes, it's not enough to overturn. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, they also know they have the time here with the timeout. I think that from that look, I would, if I had to log a vote, I'd say off Nebraska. And here's another look. Can we see forearm? So there it's off of the Mast. Ooh.
But his Mast left finger after
right
Woods' forearm.
Woods pushes it with his hand.
Like his wrist.
Yep.
And then does Mass touch it after?
I think so. They're still looking at it. Okay, let's see if we can get a little bit tighter. We've got the time. The teams are in the huddle anyway. Again, the call here is out on USC, and USC challenges that. If USC doesn't get this right, they lose their challenge for the remainder of the game. I think you kind of see Mass' fingers flick as if they got a little bit of ball there. Larry Scarato is at the microphone. Larry asked if we're back. We're back. Larry, the floor is yours.
Make it good.
After review, the call on the floor has been reversed. USC's basketball. Because it is a successful challenge, USC will not be charged a timeout and retains their ability to challenge in the future.
Good challenge. You know, and
was a good challenge.
I was just going to say too, Don, for all of the wow, Nebraska's making a run, they were down 5. It's still just a 3-point game.
Oh, no doubt. And Baker Mazzara still on the sideline.
Cam Woods. Kofi fading in the corner. Got some net, but...
Told you. Told you, Brill's on
Kevin
it, man.
Brill. It's the third end-line call today. Cannot get away from Kevin. Hawkeye on the sideline. Nebraska came out of the locker room hot to start this second half.
ISO post over the top.
Help comes from Kofi, and Buchengel gets the pass from Mass to score.
That's his good understanding of offense. Throw it into Mass. Know there's a second defender probably coming. Buchengel just run right to the rim. Easy bucket.
Arenas has not scored in this game. Woods takes his time to line up a 3. Doesn't hit it. He has only made 6 this year.
Like Arenas isn't right, and I wonder if that's why he didn't start today. Just doesn't seem as aggressive. Doesn't seem. I haven't noticed anything physically, but it's not himself.
Don't miss a Wednesday night hoops tripleheader. Indiana hosts Minnesota. 8th-ranked Purdue takes on Northwestern, and the Trojans battle Washington. Coverage begins with the tip-off show at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Another great edition of Wednesday Night Hoops coming up, and a great play out of the sidelines inbounds, and Samford eventually gets fouled, but he missed a point play. He missed the easiest shot he's seen today.
I was just going to say that. Of all the work he's done to get his 18 so far, that was the easiest one yet. Great play design out of the side timeouts, or dead ball sideline out of bounds. Just smoked it.
And a kickball.
I think if Samford had to do that again, he would come down, then go back up instead of trying to catch it in the air and score it. So much harder.
Stoppage here just to get 1 second back on the clock. They got it squared away. Baker Mazzara does have his wrist back taped, but he's just sitting watching the leading scorer for USC, not in the game.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that's showing up here in the second half is USC's lack of rim protections. Hoiberg scored a couple times in there. Samford that time. With Kofi out of the game, there's really no shot blocking whatsoever for USC.
Arenas cut off. Easter.
Nice.
He's 3 for 3 on floaters tonight.
That was an off-leg runner, too.
Well, you play with Baker Mazzara long enough. You have to rub off a little.
Right leg, right hand runner. Made it look easy.
Lawrence. Oh, nice pass to Mass for the dunk.
Well, they're getting whatever they want in the paint now. I'd have to see USC go to some zone here.
Nebraska's made 4 of its last 5 shots. Can Arenas, does he have it? to take over a little bit today. He bangs that three badly. And Hoiberg is pushing it up the floor. Frager. Everybody cleared space, and USC needs a timeout.
This really good Nebraska team, Guy, is imposing their will on the defensive end and then transitioning to the offensive end. Impressive second half for Nebraska.
Taste of success brought to you by Marco's Pizza. It's been Hoiberg inside in the second half.
Well, I thought this watching them on film, getting ready for this game, but it really sticks out when you see it in person. Just Hoiberg's toughness and his will to compete and find a way. And without him for the last 11 minutes of that first half, Nebraska struggled, but then he goes back to start the second half, and all of a sudden the game's flipped.
Look at that. They are 11-1 with him on the floor.
It's incredible.
That is unbelievable. What a great stat. That is up there when we do our favorite graphics of the year awards. That's up there.
I love when we get on the theme of a game, and it's been about how Hoiberg doesn't get talked about enough, and then he does something like he's doing today.
Arenas with the basket.
It's more like Arenas.
And Lawrence was pushing the issue and turned it over. And now here's Arenas again. And another finish.
You don't want Arenas to get started. Maybe that layup, his first bucket of the afternoon. See what kind of impact that has. But if you're Nebraska, you can't get loose now. You got control of the game. You had a 9-point lead. All of a sudden, turnover, bucket, back to a 5-point game.
With Sanford. Frager walled off and fouled. Boy, he took a spill. There's a lot of traffic. And the foul is on Asar, and that is the third on Ezra Asar.
You like the unselfish play by Sanford. I think he could have challenged Brownell and made that bucket, but gave it up to Frager. And Asar was vertical, but his momentum was taking him into the body of Frager.
Frager 5 points. And he got a late start to the day. Remember, we didn't have a dead ball timeout until almost 7 minutes into the game. So Frager had to wait a long time to get into that.
And you know what, guys, sometimes that can mess guys up. Like if you're used to coming in at a certain time, but because of the flow of the game, it's longer. Sometimes you get out of sorts.
And he's got 7 points. The average is 12, but he's coming off his 6th 20-point game of the year off the bench. Arenas, is he feeling it now a little bit? Brownell was lights out in the first half. He can't hit that three. And Cale Jacobson creates a rebound for Nebraska. And here comes Braden Frager. Match lines it up. And Frager the board. And he gets fouled.
Speaking of manufacturing points, I think Sanford and Frager both, because they're such good shooters from behind the line. The more you can do as you take a look at the 6th man of the year candidates. If we're factoring in team success to individual awards, which is what we should be doing, Frager's going to win that award based on the year Nebraska has had.
Yeah.
No disrespect to any of those other three, because the numbers don't match up. 2 Michigan guys, but the numbers plus Nebraska more than likely, especially if they hold on today, staying in the top 4 in the league standings.
What a great list there. Freshmen with 20-point games. Steinbach and Wagler and Frager. This is the second. The second chance points have been dominated by Nebraska in this game. That was a nice no-look pass from Arenas.
Nebraska's defense flying around in the second half.
Shot clock's at 5. Easter, timer's low, and it will expire. No, Arenas did not get that off in time. No. Let's take a look. Officials waved it off, and they will review. but that is still in his hands.
No doubt.
That was almost a miracle. 2 points, given how that possession went for SC. 8-point game. Timeout on the floor.
Bryce Sanford's been really good today, and USC had a pretty good game plan for him coming in, run him off the line, but what does he do? He starts to put it down and manufacture buckets. Not just a catch and shoot guy, can get that going in the lane. And that's the thing about this Nebraska team, is they are so versatile offensively. Multiple guys can do multiple things. He's had to work for it, but at the end of the day, Sanford sitting on 27, still got 7.5 to go.
13th 20-point game of the year. And his 4 threes now mean he's 6 away from tying the Big Ten record for 3-pointers in a season. Held by Sean Respert of Michigan State. A foul on Nebraska. 16th foul. It's on Jamarcus Lawrence. Out of the RA, but
I think he had time to land. Yeah.
Are you saying Kofi didn't have time?
Yeah, I think he slid underneath him a little bit. That's the one thing Nebraska can't do to try and close this game, is stop the clock and or put USC on the foul line.
Arenas gives it up to Woods, and a tough finish.
You'd almost rather live with that because the clock keeps running. An 18-point lead, now 16-point lead.
USC has scored 14 points in the second half. Lawrence. Frager cut off. Sanford's been creative. Shot clock is low. Sanford knows it, and he hits the elbow jumper. A big smile.
Unreal.
For Bryce Sanford.
His release is so fast, and he doesn't need his feet set. Like, he can get his feet down, but they don't have to be completely set. Pro shot there. That was NBA stuff.
And Woods is fouled, stumbling by Frager.
See, watch the feet. He's not off balance, but he's not on balance either. Rotation in the air to get square because his shoulders were facing the sideline, but really good shooters and scorers can rotate in the air, get back to square, and still make the shot. That's why I said that was NBA stuff.
It's a much better trip so far for him than last year when he came here with Iowa, and did not score it much on the LA swing. He has been fantastic from the opening tip today offensively, and the defense suffocating again.
I think you'll see Nebraska start to not be in a hurry offensively.
Lawrence. Sanford is feeling it.
Look online from where we sit.
Woods kicks it out. Arenas passes up the 3 to get inside and get himself to the free throw line.
Well, if we're talking about Arenas at the next level, he has to shoot that first one. If he's going to turn down wide open threes, it's going to be a problem at the next level. Guys will stop closing out, and there won't be any drive.
They've sent the teams to the benches. Here's an announcement.
The play prior is under review for a potential flagrant foul.
Well, let's take a look. Officials to the monitor.
All right, so let's go back. Old school and new school. Let me see.
I think they might be looking at the other end.
Yeah, it's the other end.
Okay, so
try again.
The other end with Nebraska on offense. We just saw the foul called.
It's that hook and hold right there as they're looking at.
Okay. The result of this play on this end, where we just saw action, was the foul with Arenas going to the free throw line.
I'm sneaking a peek at the DVR sport monitor over here. That's why
You're ahead of the game?
I'm ahead of the game.
They're looking at Kofi, perhaps at the far side of the lane. Look at 6 in gold. And the pull out with Lawrence. Did Lawrence pull him down, or did Kofi hook and hold him? I guess that's the question down there on that low block.
You know what I have, Guy?
I do.
Let's play on.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You sleeping?
I thought from that it's just one look. They're going to look at this from a discerning eye, but I did not see, at least at that look, a hook and hold flagrant one. Larry Scarrato, Jason Phillips, Kevin Brill are officials today. The players have come back. The players are chatting amongst themselves now out on the floor. Okay, so to the left of the screen, we don't know. I think from that angle, knowing where their arms are, do we see a hook and hold down there?
I mean, guys got tangled up a little bit. They both fell down, or at least Kofi fell down, or they did both fall down.
They're both kind of losing their balance.
It's an 18-point game, guys.
Let's take another look.
Wait. Your friend's not dancing. Did she know this?
I don't think they were ever really locked up.
No.
Oh, hold on now. At the end of that, now look at this. Do we have a trip here?
Oh. And Lawrence sold it pretty hard.
You know what? And it almost looked like, Kevin Brill, who was right there, saw it. And now Eric Musselman is asking. I mean, is this
after review's been determined? No flagrant foul occurred.
No flagrant foul. I think it's what Larry Scarrato just said.
Hold that pretty baby up in that sky.
And they've got to look at it. And they did. So now Arenas, after a long wait, he's going to go to the line. You wonder, does a long stoppage like that help SC at all? Nebraska with so much momentum.
I think if the game was closer, maybe. But this is a veteran Nebraska team. I think SC is going to try and pick up the pressure here and try and get some turnovers.
And it results in Sanford getting a look at a 3 and another offensive rebound for Nebraska. And Frager scores inside. He's got 12 points.
Well, there's your answer.
19 assists for the Huskers today. Arenas, no. Nebraska's going to have a couple days off before playing UCLA on Tuesday. Sunny and warm and awful wind would be a good way to spend a couple of days in LA. Hoiberg could not finish that time at the rim where he's been good today. Hoiberg's got 7 points, 5 rebounds. And that doesn't even begin to describe it as Woods goes down.
That's what USC wants to do. Get in the lane, get contact, get to the foul line. Nebraska's done a really good job all day of not allowing that and putting guys on the free throw line.
3 on Lawrence, 8th team foul on Nebraska. Cam Woods with 2 free throws coming here. Just under 4.5 to go. We saw today, and it looked like at halftime maybe we were headed that direction. Penn State at home, upset Iowa. Minnesota at home, upset UCLA. A really good game between Oregon and Northwestern that came down to the end. Northwestern won it at the last. Wisconsin is dominating Washington right now after that stunning loss to Oregon.
Not surprised by that.
by the Wisconsin response.
Yeah. Did not play well. Give Oregon credit. They're different. They lost today at the buzzer essentially to Northwestern, but Wisconsin wasn't right the other night.
Tough finish inside and one for Frager.
He's sneaky athletic, that Frager. You know, good lift, body control, goes to the opposite hand, right hand for him.
Sanford's done so much scoring. That was a nice assist to go with his 5 rebounds. And now Mast will come out and Buchtigel will check in. And Ryan Cornish will appear for the first time for USC.
Well, I think if this holds, Guy, USC is going to have to win one of these next 2 at least, and then they're going to have to win a couple in the Big Ten tournament, you would think.
Well, they were in. I mean, it wasn't that long ago you looked at DeCourcy's projection. They were an 8 seed in the NCAAs.
Yep.
Now they're on the verge of losing 5 straight. And a foul on Hoiberg's, his 3rd. Nebraska trying to put the finishing touches on what would be a program record 14th conference win.
Nebraska in a comfortable lead here. Mike Hall and Earl Watson. By the way, gymnastics is coming your way in just a little bit. If you want to watch right now, you can go to the Fox Sports app. We got 15 seconds left. You know, Don was ripping on you, throwing to halftime. You got anything you want to say to him?
Yeah, Don is the auto pickup games he lost to UCLA when me and Barron ran him off the court. Because it's the other side of the ball, Don. It's called defense.
Yeah.
We know you can score. You got to play defense. One of the greatest ruins we know in UCLA history.
See, even both of you attack each other. You end up being nice at the end. I don't like that. Guy?
Well, I must have gotten too old because I have zero recollection of ever losing to Earl Watson and Baron Davis, ever, in anything.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That you would have zero recollection.
I mean,
you're saying it didn't happen.
I don't recall it.
Okay. Your word against his. We'll get Barron some.
And I don't think I was ripping on Earl. I just said I can't wait to hear what Hall and DeCourcy have to say. How's that ripping on Barron?
Well, Hall is just an instigator. This is what we're talking about, the most wins in program history in a single year. And I think what's significant about winning today, part of what would be significant about winning today, it would be the program record 14th league win in a single year, and they're going to do it in 18 games, right? They're not doing it in the extra, so to speak, 2 games.
I think this group, and I think they're appreciative of all they've done, the 20-game winning streak to start the year and all that stuff. But this team's got a chance to make a deep run in the NCAA tournament. I think they understand that, and that's what they're interested in at this point.
We got to get this across, and it is a 10-second violation, or they call a timeout. Fred Hoiberg might have just used a timeout. 10-second call. Did not use a timeout.
10-second violation call on the Cornhuskers.
Good defense there from USC.
Yeah. Nebraska's got to expect that this is what's going to happen the last 3:42 of this one, that USC's coming after him, trying to turn him over.
And Hoiberg can't, I should note, he can't use a live ball timeout there outside of the 2 minutes. So his players would have had to use it. Kofi forces his way in.
Nebraska can't exhale here. I mean, a lot would have to go right for USC, but it's not over.
Brownell went for that steal, nearly got there, but now Nebraska can try and settle things down in the half court. Into the hands of Sanford. He's got 29 points in this game. Will fire along 2. And Brownell a strong rebound.
It's getting interesting here at the end. Bucket here. They see a timeout from Fred Hoiberg.
Arenas. Tough shot, and he gets fouled. Yes, he's gotten to the free throw line in this second half at a much higher rate they did in the first half. And 2 free throws are coming for Arenas. The foul's on Sanford. It's his 3rd, and more significantly, it's a 10th team foul. A double bonus.
And that's a foul.
Arenas did not score in the first half, came off the bench today. Turned his ankle in the first half, stayed in the game. Don't miss the Big Ten Network's live coverage of the 2026 TIAA Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament from Chicago, March 11th through the 13th. Cannot wait. Arenas gets both free throws, and he's got 10 points all in the second half. Baker Mazzara only played 3 minutes in this half to start the second half before taking a hard spill. At the time, it was a 3-point game when he left.
I said it right at the time. If he couldn't come back, it would be difficult for USC to win this game, and it's kind of proven out.
Now 2 free throws coming for Jamarcus Lawrence. I don't know if you would have expected it when you looked at USC's schedule, but entering play today, you wait a few days, see the updated net rankings. That the game at Washington is a quadrant 1 game, and the game at home against UCLA is not. UCLA not in the top 30 in the net entering today, and lost today.
Yeah, I'm sure. I was just going to say, I'm sure their net probably going to drop a little bit after that Minnesota loss.
USC, the 4th of the last 4 in on DeCourcy's bracket today. Kofi gets in for the dunk. And USC wants the pressure. And Frager almost went across into the corner and backed it out.
Last place you want to pick up your dribble.
Now he gets doubled, and
tip.
Sanford was able to grab it. A foul.
If you're going to foul, don't let them shave off 18 seconds off the clock and then foul. Either foul early right when they get it, or you play out the possession.
There's been a less than smooth landing here in the last, and part of it has been SC's just been able to get to the free throw line, which also means they can set up that pressure. USC with 13 turnovers today. Nebraska with 12. Mast. He's in double figures.
If Nebraska can get a stop here without fouling.
Kofi scramble and a live ball takeaway for the Huskers, and now Frager can't finish the layup.
Time and score. Frager, if you're not for sure going to make that, you got to pull it out.
Arenas. Oh, that was artistry. What a finish. Mast. And we're at about a minute and a half. Frager scores.
That should probably do it right there.
It felt like a live ball turnover from Nebraska right there would have really created the opportunity instead of bucket. And it's back up to 14.
Well, one hard part for USC to come back from being down big is their lack of three-point shooting.
And they just 4 today. Held Nebraska under their average. The Cornhuskers with quote-unquote just 7 threes in this game. We're under a minute now. Sanford, his season high is 33. He's got 29. Make it 32.
Why not?
His 5th 3 of the game. And that puts him 5 away from tying and 6 away from setting a single season record for threes in the Big Ten with 2 games to play.
The chance on Tuesday to get that record.
The Nebraska fans on their feet, and the shot clock did not reset after the make, so they're going to put 7 seconds back on the shot clock here. And that gives Fred Hoiberg a chance to go into his bench, and it gives Price Sanford, a chance to walk off to a standing ovation from the Nebraska fans. His 3rd 30-point game of the year.
And number 33, Curtis.
Anytime you can come on the road in this league and empty your bench, that was a successful day.
At no point in the first half did you think Nebraska was going to win this game going away.
They were down by 5, 36-31 at the half. And Sam Hoiberg did not play much in that first half. Jared Garcia at the rim. Chad Baker-Mazzara was really good in the first half, but he has not played hardly at all in the second half.
Well, USC's path has just become more difficult. It can still be done, but they're going to have to flip this around, win these last 2 regular season games, probably win a couple in the Big Ten tournament if they're going to get into the NCAA tournament.
For USC, it'll be the 5th straight loss. For Nebraska, it is a program record 14th conference win, and they do it in their 18th game of the year in dominating the second half here in LA. A historic season continues for Fred Hoiberg and the Cornhuskers in front of a big Nebraska crowd. Another 30-point performance for Bryce Sanford. 32 points and 5 threes. He is 6 3-pointers away from setting a single season Big Ten record. What a day of hoops in the league today in the Big Ten. Nebraska keeps it rolling. They'll hang around to play UCLA in 3 days, and they'll have a good time sitting around in LA after this one. Once again, the final, Nebraska 82 and USC 67.